What's up and what's going on, good people? What's up and what's going on, good people? I'm not even 100% sure. Yes, I could be heard. I can be heard. Wasn't 100% sure, but no, we are definitely in here in the building. Shout out to each and every one of you. Going to be talking about the thing that everybody's been talking about lately, the whole fresh and fit being demonetized. How much of it is a big deal? How much of it isn't? And how much can we more or less learn from it? Because there's clearly some do's and some don'ts. And I've always been of the view that the do's and the don'ts sort of fall in line with the things that we more or less talk about in spaces and, known as the manosphere. But there's another thing going on. There's other things that you can't exactly do that I think YouTube sponsors and just the general public, just the general whole entire zeitgeist of social media deems more offensive. And it's the thing that Fresh and Fit recently did when they had on a certain individual. I believe it was that. I believe it's a certain individual that they had on. I'll say his name. Probably I'll say his name. It's turning into what is it, Voldemort? Mustafa, the Mufasa, the person you don't say, but Nick Fuentes. I believe it was having that on. I believe it was having him on. I believe that was at the root cause of it. I believe they got into some things where they bring in on a lot of 9/11 conspiracy theorists, whether they're right, wrong. I haven't done all the research on that. A lot of it sounds out there to me, but apparently those are the things. It wasn't the arguments, the fights with the women and one woman, sort of kind of pulling out a gun and all of that wild stuff. It wasn't that got them done in. I believe it was getting borderline in that Alex Jones territory with the conspiracy stuff, the stuff about the U.S. government, the stuff about, as they call them boys, the certain community with the small hats, getting into that kind of stuff and bringing on that shouldn't be in the shot, and bringing on a certain denier of a certain historical event. So we're about to get into all of that and breaking all of that down. So strap on in. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
We've done so much with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything with nothing. Those are the words, the tagline of Machismo TV. Machismo TV, make sure you go and subscribe. Make sure you go and subscribe and check out Machismo TV. But shout out to everybody in the building. Had to get some water, had to get hydrated in this joint. But shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early. And as you see right there, as she says all the time on the way in, hit the like button. Shout out to Hoop Jargon in the building, says lay go. Little Rock in the building. Deacon Dave in the building. Shout out to Jason. I mean, not Jason. No, that's not his name, but JC the Conqueror in the building says, yo, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Mac, the trucker, who I always mistake for D-Rock. Then when D-Rock sends a cash app, I always call him the Mac the trucker by accident. But shout out to the actual the Mac the trucker. Appreciate you. Shout out to Geronimo Red in the building. Shout out for No Country for Old Simps. We'll always love that name. He says, Bernard got that Keep It 100 camera. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm actually facing forward. Just my chair is kind of lean. The only thing I'm doing is my chair is like that. If you're talking about just the up closeness of the camera, I've always used to do that. This camera actually works better the closer it is to you, because the closer the camera is to you, the more it focuses on you and separates you from the background. But no, I'm not. Keep It 100 be kind of. I can't do his angle. His camera be at a slight tilt. But no, I can't do Keep It 100. I'm not doing the Keep It 100. That's his thing. I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that from him. But I did have to bring it closer. Shout out to Hoop Jargon in the building. Shout out to Salty Balls coming off the top rope. Coming off the top rope with the $120 cash app. Shout out to him.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
That's $100.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth. Put them in your mouth and suck them and suck them.
Special salute and shout out to Salty Balls coming off the top rope with the large, very large contribution. Very large contribution. Much love for that brother. Much love for that brother. Who else we got in here? Geronimo Red. Get a few more shout outs and then we'll get into the topic. It says Bernard won an NBA championship. Man, you late. Ben had the Larry O'Brien trophy back here. I gotta get this out of the shot. Ben had the Larry O'Brien trophy back here. Ben on that. JC the Congress says, yep, it was political. I believe so. I'm gonna get into that. He says, nope, they said the J word and it was over. See, that's where I think you're kind of wrong. Because you can say Jews. There, I said it. You can say that. But you can't bring in on a card carrying anti-J word who's making an argument that that historical event either didn't happen how it was thought to happen. And it's like I said it earlier. It's some troll energy in doing that, because he'll say things like, "Oh, Hitler was a great guy. I think Hitler was a decent person," and then he make you clutch your pearls, and then he slow walk you through the process of explaining just some other general things Hitler did as a leader of a country and or whatever, and just the general things that a leader has to do. The general things that a leader has to do. He did it, and in the process, there was some good decisions that you know, typically, if you didn't pull off the Holocaust, that people would pat you on the back and say, "Hey, good job, you did a good thing." But you know, that event did happen. That event did happen, and somebody who's hell-bent on denying that, and somebody who's hell-bent on uplifting and upholding the thing that I believe is a thing of the past. You know, I believe it's a thing of the past. I believe it's an old relic. And I'm talking about white supremacy in this from the standpoint that they get there's a group in power that get their rocks off and their jollies off from just whipping on and beating on black and brown people. It's like I think that day is done. However, there are some people who argue from the perspective. They argue strongly from the perspective. They talk about separation of races. They get all deep into the IQ thing and why we are just inherently different. And when people get into that and they start speaking, they start trying to rally the troops on that, mixed with some normal conservative stuff about family values and marriage and all of that, but then they mix in, being a white nationalist or separatist or whatever the hell. That's a no-no. Like Fresh and Fit, they could talk about the women. They could talk junk about them. They could bring women on. They could argue with women. They can make women look stupid. But I do believe when they dabbled into that and then start trolling around, putting on the hood, the Klan hood, and start doing that. I mean, it was trolling. It was an attempt at humor, but I believe that was the thing that spelled the beginning of the end. Nick Fuentes, 911 conspiracy theorists. It's like those are once you start getting into Alex Jones territory, and you have a platform with 1.5 million subs, you can criticize the women. And you might get hit. Like Coach Greg Adams not monetized. I think Jap be getting hit from time to time. But there are certain areas where it's an absolute no-no. And so we can put our fist in the air, free speech this, free speech that. But when it's certain things that they're just not going. That's the conclusion that I've come to. That is the conclusion that I have arrived at. He says, no, they said the J word. I don't think it was just that. He says they should just make a site. Plenty of people will sign up. That is correct. I think they're doing some kind of pay for play thing on Rumble. I don't know. They said $5 sign up on Rumble, something like that. But yeah, they got the money, the resources to make their own site and have their own thing going on, and then still use the other platforms to just lure more people in. Yeah, they could do that. Truth Only says it's cause they black, of course. LOL, man, get out of here. Shannon B says Fresh and Fit are known for conspiracy shows. OMG. Yeah, they're known for it, but I think it gets to a limit on it. That's not the only thing they do. Put it like this: they didn't build their channel off conspiracy shows. They just dabbled in it. I think it reaches a time where you get so big to where you're dabbling in government conspiracy shows mixed with Nick Fuentes. I think it comes a time where, they're going to shut it down. I think it's men in general. It's men in general who want to shut things down simply on the basis of talking about women. It's men in general who want to do that. And I think those men in general who want to shut it down because they talk about women and they make women look stupid, I think those people used the mere fact that they do all the conspiracy shows, that they do the Nick Fuentes thing. I think they use that to try to shut it down for those other reasons. But I think YouTube generally don't play. Generally don't play. No guarantee, says Greedy Pastor Bernard. Let me read a couple more before we get into it. Says JC the Conqueror, not that simple. They were living off of ad revenue. Now they will have to charge people to see their content off top. See, they weren't living exactly off ad revenue, because I know most of their shows didn't get a green $ light. They wasn't making that much money off ads. I could tell you that right now. They're making most of their money off people super chatting them. They made something off the ads, but that stuff wasn't getting greenlit, monetized. It wasn't. They was making most of their money off super chats. No doubt about that. And I'm pretty sure that was the majority, big part of their income. That's why this is a big change for them. That's charge people for their content, which a lot of people are probably not going to do. A lot of people are not. I mean, I like Fresh and Fit. I like their channel. Me personally, I wouldn't pay for their content, but that's just me. And largely in part because, I mean, I'm not even going to get into that. There's no doubt about it. They're going to lose a considerable portion of money. And a lot of people dancing in the street about that. They can recover. They can make it work. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hoop Jargon Media Network in the building with a $2 super chat. Hoop Jargon Media Network in the building with the $2 super chat. Says, play that, Johnny. Absolutely, absolutely.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Yeah, let's cut the music. And yeah, up close and personal zoomed in. I think it looked better. The camera brings the camera does what it's supposed to do when you're closer in. So we'll see. It blurs out the background better. Drop the music. Sir Tice in the building with the super chat says, not sure if many are aware Fresh and Fit was YouTube's stateside number 2 most super chatted. Yes, number 2 most super chatted. I can't see. I see it now. I'm running into camera problems. The camera in the way of the super chat. Tim Pool is number 1. Your small hat theory has more credence than other things. Yeah. I agree. And so it makes you wonder from this standpoint, is it that, is Fresh and Fit just a drop in the bucket? On YouTube, like they are number 2. They're always in the top 5 super chatters. If overall they're number 2, I believe it. Tim Pool number 1 in terms of super chats, I believe it. I definitely believe it. Here's the deal. I look at them like they're making a lot of money for YouTube, and so it had to be something. It got to be something, big for them to shut it down. Because the whole process of men talking about women, that's a normal thing now. Like, that cat is out the bag. It ain't going nowhere. The whole process of women coming on men's shows and debating men and being, made to look kind of stupid. Or if you can make that just a little smaller up there, a little smaller. See, when I sit up, I don't want you to cut off my hairline. I want, I'm 41 and I'm proud that I still got a hairline. I don't want it cut off the shot. So yeah, make that a little smaller up there. He said they made close to 2 million in super chat last year. YouTube gets 30%. That's still a drop in the bucket to YouTube. So I don't even know if YouTube is exactly losing anything by doing that. But I do think what is a big no-no, and we're gonna get into it. Let me pull up some stuff. Let me pull up the video, give y'all my raw reaction to the video that y'all have seen. Then I'm going to get into a little more of their stupid shit. Not stupid shit. I shouldn't call it like that.
Hold up.
Where is that? There's a Jackie Jack is saying it's only $5. I'll support them. Yeah, I mean, they got a channel that's definitely worthy of support. I speak more as just somebody who, there are certain people that I support and have supported through on Patreon. I don't watch none of the Patreon content. This is people I've been Patreons for years on end, and I just remain a Patreon. So from that standpoint, yeah, but I don't know, the people that I support are people who are more, Black manosphere. Those are the people that I support, that I'm Patreons for and everything. But overall, by and large, I mean, yes, if you watch their content, you find value in their content, and there is a lot of value to be found in their content, then I say people definitely should support it. Out of all the people that I support, I've been Patreons for, just for whatever reason, nothing personal. They just didn't make the cut. That's what I meant when I said I wouldn't support them. I wasn't taking a dig at them. They do great content. They're trailblazers. They've paved the way. I do want to make that very clear. But shout out to Sir Tice, shout out to Hoop Jargon Media, and shout out to Salty Balls. Let me get into this. Let's roll it.
And we are live. Let's go. Podcast, man. As you guys know, we had a show scheduled earlier with Psych Hacks, but we had to cancel because we got some really sucky news.
Crazy news.
Yeah, crazy news, real talk.
Yeah.
Right now we're live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. And guys, I mean,
is this the end, bro? Because we got some bad news, man. When I heard that, I was shocked because we love YouTube, man.
Yeah,
we love streaming.
Yeah,
and at this point, I feel like our whole lives are revolved around streaming and adding value to people online. It's just like it won't be the same, bro.
Yeah,
what we heard.
Sir Tracy saying Myron did act like he cried in the car. No, he actually cried for real. He walked off. He walked off camera to go let it out. Understandable. I mean, they got millions of dollars entangled in this thing. Understandable. Ray Arthur says YouTube must have cut them to try to bring back more advertisers. It's very possible. That's why I say they're dropping the bucket. It's very possible that they're doing a deal with I don't know, Chevy trucks commercials is going to be playing before you click on a YouTube video, and Chevy trucks is like, yeah, okay, we like the deal, we like the contract. Yes, we'll pay you $50 million to run our ads before YouTube videos. But here's the deal: we don't want we don't want these channels to have channels. We don't want these certain people to have channels. That's possible. It's either, the $2 million Fresh and Fit pay that they make off Fresh and Fit, or the 30% of $2 million that they make off Fresh and Fit, or the $50 million that they're going to get from some advertiser. What you're going to choose? Those things happen. That's why it's my argument that it's not the simple fact that they're doing crazy shows with women. They had a woman sitting there swinging at Myron, connected on a couple. Been multiple fights on there. Tommy Sotomayor on there fighting. Women getting called bitches and titties popping out and all kind of shit going on. Like it's been horrible. The dude pulled up. Ayande pulled up trying to fight them. The male the male stripper that, okay, every now and then strip for men. He's not gay. He just stripped for men. He just dance. He just danced for men in limited clothing. But anyway, that guy pulled up on them. Myron sitting there with a gun out. Like, they've had stuff like that happen, and they didn't get taken off the air. So despite YouTube, hitting people all the time, striking people's channel, doing all kind of stuff. There's a certain realm of high tolerance. There's a certain realm of high. Oh, Surprise, you didn't know? You didn't know that Ayande dude that used to work for them, and then he fell out with them, or they fired him, and then he tried to come back and make a name for himself by beefing with them, and then that died off, and then like a year later, it was exposed that the dude used to be like like a Chippendale stripper or something. Like, I mean, yeah, look it up. That's a thing. That is a thing. That actually happened. It was you must have been busy. You must have been traveling and living your life, because that was like a 72-hour news cycle in this in Nigatube space. That was actually a story. But anyway, Ayande pulled up with some dude, you know. Yes, of course, Free Zone Lou. No, yeah, yep, that happened. Yeah, okay, yeah, that happened. But this was before all that got exposed. I'm just saying, Myron had to pull a gun on somebody in the doorway, calling them out for a fight. They've had all kind of stuff. They had a girl pull out a gun. Like, so much stuff has happened. So it's like we can sort of pretend like maybe it was all that other stuff. But maybe it was, but it all happened seemingly in conjunction with it. It all happened seemingly in conjunction with their affiliation with somebody who's viewed at seen as, and I don't know what he calls himself, but I you know, the people that are the card carrying white supremacists. And we ain't about to get into debate on who's a white supremacist and who's not. I don't care. I don't lose sleep over people in their labels, but somebody who's viewed that way by the masses, it's like, I think YouTube has drawn a clear line in the sand that ain't acceptable. 9/11 conspiracy theorists, not acceptable. All talking, you know, going in election, like really going in about elections being stolen, all of that stuff. Like those are the things that YouTube will strike you down for. Now, there are smaller channels that can do that. But when you got 1.5 million subs and you are Alex Jones level big, I mean, if you can't be on your Alex Jones shit, even part-time. You know, we can, like I said, we can put our fists in the air for free speech, but then it comes a time like they're running a business, they're running $1 million business where you gotta, you know, say, hey, free speech my ass. You have free speech on your own platform. You gotta, you know, Nick Fuentes was bad for business. Tommy Sotomayor wasn't that bad for business, but Nick Fuentes was bad for business. I don't think there's no getting around that. Wayman Casey says Nick is radioactive. Yeah, I don't think you can really get around that. You know, we can lie to ourselves and say that it was for something that happened a year ago, something that happened 6 months ago, but no, they finally shut them down for immediate things. And it don't help that Myron, I haven't even seen the video when Myron was with Sneeko wearing the Klan hood. We're gonna actually look at that today. I have not seen that, so I'm gonna pull up that. Give me a second. Let me dot an I and cross a T in the back real quick. Get that ready for upload. It's acting funny, but all right. Let me dive back into the video. But Uno in the building says YouTube has a right to run ads, even demonetized channels, per their updated. How do I get to per their updated TOS? TOS? I don't know what you're talking about there. They just won't provide revenue to the creator. Oh, That's interesting. That's actually interesting. Pull up that next super chat. Pull up the next one. Clue Channel in the building says they actually make more money with OBS plugin that makes a Cash App look like a super chat on screen. Whoa, I got to get on that. I mean, I'm lightweight on it right now. That's why you see the contributors up top above me. But yeah, you make that Cash App look like a super chat, you're doing something. That's what's up. Now, they went live a few times on YouTube since all of this. And I'm not actually sure if I'm pretty sure there was no super chats, or I don't think it was nothing on screen looking like a super chat. We'll have to see. But the super chat is just quick, easy. Like the people that cash, and this is just my experience, the people that Cash App you are the people that rock with you. It would take a lot of work to cultivate an audience of people who are going to take the extra clicks and do the Cash App and stuff versus people who want to just super chat. And when you super chat, you get to say more, you get to be more part of the show. So super chatting is valuable. Like super chatting is actually worth the 30% that YouTube take because more people will contribute to your show. So, but if there's a few content creators who have mastered the art of getting people to Cash App just as much as they would super chat, that is actually very difficult. That is a difficult task. So for most people, in my experience, everybody that I've seen, when they didn't have the super chat available, they made less money. Everybody that I've talked to about that, because there are people who have said that, hey, I don't like that YouTube take 30%. Therefore, I'm not going to have a super chat on my channel. There are people that have said that. And all of those people that have tried to run that experiment, they have all come back. they all come back. They always come back to super chatting. Because, it's quick and easy. Every now and then on a good topic, somebody who don't even really watch your channel that much might be compelled to just do a quick, easy super chat. But if they got to go through the process of trying to find your Cash App or we rather not to even have a Cash App, no. So yeah, no, that super chat, the almighty super chat for the win. And they make big money off super chats. So I'm not absolutely convinced, Clue, that they're going to do all the same with making Cash Apps look like super chats. They can make it look the same, but it's not the same. So no, I think they will have their problems with that. But Christian Hutchinson in the building says, as a landlord, I would not renew their lease. We got to get into that too. They're the landlords, the people that at the apartment that they're in, condo or whatever, they don't want them there. That's actually true as well. They got a constant crowd of people, drunk bimbos coming through there, arguments and all kind of fights happening. They say they got that thing soundproof. It's hard to perfectly soundproof. Maybe they got it perfectly soundproofed, but I would imagine that other people be hearing the damn show happening. I would imagine that happens even if because I've done soundproofing. You don't get it perfect. It's hard to get it perfect unless you just like build your own, like a separate booth for it. Like there's maybe professionals out there who could just soundproof a whole damn apartment. Maybe, man, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there good enough to do it, but it ain't easy. So yeah, they gotta get a whole offsite studio, which I mean, and you're losing money on the super chats. Now how you gonna pull off this getting a whole offsite studio that's going to be up to the standard they're used to? Because I know damn well they want to do it better and do it bigger. I know damn well they want it to look sort of like, I don't know if you ever seen the Sauce Cast on Valuetainment, how that zoom all the way out and how good that look, how big that is, how they on an actual stage and everything, like, So no, this is going to be it's going to be difficult. It can't be downplayed. If they don't get that back, it will be difficult challenges there. But Christian Hutchinson says, as a landlord, I would not renew their lease. I have kicked people out, made people uncomfortable, or nor renewed for way less than what they do. Yeah. That's the thing. That's legitimate. That is legitimate. But let me get let me check the Cash App. Speaking of Cash Apps. Speaking of Cash Apps, let me check the Cash App, see if anyone has sent a Cash App on today. But let's get back into the video. Mean Run Enterprise sent $18 on the Cash App. Let's call that a 20. Let's drop that 20 bomb on it for that. Let's drop the 20 bomb on it for that. All right, let's get into the video. Let's go.
In 2020, guys, as you guys know, I was working for the government, right? I was a special agent of Homeland Security. He worked for Wix, we'll just call it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wix.com, yeah.
And he was a tech support. I was arresting bad guys, etc. We started this podcast. We did our first episode on October 26th, 2020. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Chris was there. The apartment was all empty and shit. And and we had our first podcast. If you guys go back and watch it, like the thing was all zooming in and out and everything else like that, and it was all messed up.
It's like we're at a house club.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yeah. It was literally, but we got it figured out. We got the lighting fixed, and we continued to improve. Fresh landed some really good guests early on, and continues to get us a great guest. And
we made hours of content in the streets, TikTok, Patreon.
Yeah.
Many nights, 3 a.m, 4 a.m. Chris was there too.
While working jobs. And then I'll never forget, I get an email November 14th. Internal Affairs. Hey, we need you to come in for an interview. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Right. And I'm working at the government, sitting at my desk, writing up a report, and I see this email. Yeah. And this is 2020 November. And I I go, I let my supervisor know, hey, I got to go up to, the Internal Affairs office, right? Because it's not at the same building as us. And, I go over there and they take my phone. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on here? And then, and then they're like, they didn't want to tell me, but they're like, hey, we're part of an internal investigation. Next day I meet up with the special agent in charge, and they tell me, hey, it has to do with your YouTube. And right there it clicked. I was like, wait, hold on. Okay. They probably think that I'm recording videos on my phone. Like that's what it is, which it was a fucking iPhone 6 or 7. It was a piece of shit. And what ended up happening is I had to make a really tough decision that month. I remember going back and forth, trying to negotiate, trying to figure out what we're going to do. And, they're like, no, you have to pick one. You have to either, you're going to be a YouTuber or you can be a special agent of Homeland, but you're not going to do both. And
man, all right. I've been there before, but it wasn't with a gun to the head like that. But it was November 2019, the last time that I actually worked for somebody else. I've had a couple businesses in conjunction with this whole YouTube thing going on, but it's been a while since I've worked for somebody else. I know that feeling. I know where he's coming from. I know what that's like when you jumping out there like that. It is not hard. Those are tough decisions. Those are absolutely tough decisions. They don't got kids or nothing, but they got like they're gonna talk about later. They got employees and people that they, people that count on them for a job at this point. Other people they gotta pay. They got a real payroll with real salaries and all that. They said upwards of 20 people working for them. Now, I'm sure all of them aren't damn near payroll employees. I'm sure there's people that just do jobs for them, so to speak. But no, those are difficult decisions. Those are legitimately difficult decisions, and it can't be understated. Stuff like that cannot be understated. Cole still says Myron probably pretended to get emotional for sympathy Cash App donations. Are you serious? Like you seriously think two people a person who's become a self-made millionaire producing content, which essentially amounts to, a media company. I said it's easy. Okay, RM is correcting me in the back. She said it's not easy. Okay, okay. Whatever I said, I fucked up. I think I probably said it's not hard, and she's saying it's not easy. You meant okay. Cool. Thank you for that correction. Sometimes I say up when I mean down, and sometimes I say left when I mean right. So if I fucked up, thank you for the correction in the back. Yes, but doing what they do is not easy. Doing this whole YouTube thing is not easy. Those are very very difficult decisions when you're jumping out there on your own doing this kind of thing. It is. But thank you, RM. Well, where we at? Damn it, I lost where I was at. Now I'm mad at you, RM. You made me forget what I was talking about. The hell was I talking about? Okay, I forgot. I forgot completely. Damn, I paused him at a weird moment. He looking psychotic. But anyway, getting back into it. So they had to make the decision to oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about Cold Steel's comment. Cold Steel's comment said that Myron probably fake cried for sympathy cash apps. There's I'll make you some brownies you'll forgive. Where's there it is. All right, he said Myron pretended to get emotional for sympathy cash app donations. Like, look, when you're a self-made millionaires, I think in 2020 when they jumped out there with this shit, they probably was millionaires by 2021. It's 2023. Even making over $1 million a year for that long and got all kind of other stuff going on, have used that money to buy all kind of properties, got all kind of investments. They like, come on. They're past the Cash App sympathy tier state of mind. Like that's ridiculous things. And I'll go ahead and get into that because a lot of people have been saying some ridiculous things. And I try to just give my reaction and not react to the reacts. But a lot of people have been saying some difficult things. A lot of men have been celebrating. A lot of men got great criticism for them. I know some of it is just natural born hating. Just I call it nigga shit. Some of it is, people feel like they want Fresh and Fit to go away to create a vacuum. It's a lot of people are on that shit. But then there's a lot of people who just criticize people that criticize women, and they're on that. We saw something crazy happen in this space, more on the nigga tube side of things. We saw something crazy happen. Remember when Austin Hollerman said he's not going to criticize women anymore? I mean, now he's not going to criticize black women anymore. A lot of the people who used to criticize him, they stopped. He became cool all of a sudden. Like, I literally listened to them on panels talking about and see, he finally grew up and he realized y'all was the goofies and he don't want to associate with y'all. So I'm like, wait a minute. Before you were saying that this man was a lame, a square, he was kind of off. He's a little slow. Look how he talk. Look how he walk. He's a lame ass, corny ass goofy that can't get pussy in America. You mean to tell me he's not any of that anymore? All he had to do was just stop criticizing black American women? Okay, so it was never that he was all those things that you called him. It was just that he was criticizing black American women. But once he stopped doing that, all of a sudden he became cool? Like, so why was you calling him all that other shit to begin with? You see how the mind of some men work and operate with this whole thing? Where their whole rallying cry, they pick up sword and shield ready for war on dudes that commit the crime of criticizing women, particularly criticizing black women. So on one end of it, those are the people that are celebrating and dancing in the street. But see, Fresh Fit didn't go down for the criticism of women. I believe they went down for the palling around with the white supremacists. I believe that's what they ultimately went down for. That's the thing that they are, in the hot seat for. Eric Bird says some of these people who supported and praised him turned against him when he changed his tune. I didn't see nobody exactly turn against him. I saw people point out the fact, and I'll raise my hand as guilty as charged. I pointed out the simple fact that he's taking a shit on other content creators. He did that. He tried to shit on basically the whole entire space as a whole. He did that. So I criticized him for that. But just the simple fact that he's just saying, hey, I'm moving on from this part aspect of my content. I believe everything that I said and I stand on everything that I said, but I'm moving on from that kind of content. I'm just a traveling nomadic a gentleman out here, wearing fancy clothes and expensive shades and sipping sipping drinks sipping drinks on beaches with bad bitches. And I'm just doing content about that. I respect that 100%. I respect that 100%. But then he went back and shitted on the type of content that he grew his audience on and shitted on the other content creators who created and facilitated that. Like that's where the bullshit was. But he shouldn't be criticized for not criticizing black women. But it is worth smoking cigars. I want to smoke cigars on a yacht with 100 women that can't look me in the eyes. Do you know where that came from? Please tell me you know where that line came from. I may have to pull the video. I do that sometimes. I don't mean to get off topic. But every now and then it's necessary to do a brief intermission for laughter. Every now and then it's worth it to do a brief intermission for laughter. And if you haven't seen, I think everybody's seen this. The original video got 5 million views. So shame on you if you haven't seen this. But this was the funniest shit I've seen all year thus far. This was, hold on. I got to get this up.
Hold up.
And shame on me for not ever playing this on the live show because this was so fucking funny. All right. It's uploading. Trying to load it into the StreamYard. There it is.
Hold up.
All right. All right, here we go.
What kind of car you want to drive? Bugatti. And what you want to do in life?
I want to smoke cigars on a yacht with 100 women that can't look me in the eye.
And I got just the guy that'll help us do that.
All right.
Stop that. Who you meet him? I got him on Wish.com.
I wish you didn't do that.
I said stop! You ain't Andrew Tate. You Andrew Faith. The hell off my face.
It's this gay ass dude who looked like Andrew Tate going around calling himself Bottom G, is on the internet just terrorizing the internet with his shit. Dude look just like Andrew Tate, but is like real life gay as hell. You ain't Andrew Tate. You Andrew Fake. Oh my goodness. Yeah, shame on y'all if y'all ain't seen this dude. You can't watch too much of it. I mean, it's just too much fruitiness. But the fact that he looked like Andrew Tate and is going around doing some of the fruitiest junk ever, calling himself Bottom G, that shit is funny. That shit is funny. I had to take a brief segue on that one. I had to take a brief segue on that one. Yeah, that's. He said he thought it was Andrew Tate. Yeah, he looked like him. He looked just like him.
What kind of car you want to drive? Bugatti. And what you want to do in life?
I want to smoke cigars on a yacht with 100 women that can't look me in the eye.
And I got just the guy that'll help us do that.
All right.
Stop that. Do you meet him? I gotta go wish.com.
I wish you didn't do that.
I said stop! You ain't Andrew Tate. You Andrew Fake. The hell off my face.
All right, we back. All right, we back. Let's let's get back on to the show. Let's get back to the show. Yeah, you have no sense of humor if you think that's just mid. Nah, that was fucking funny. And Sir Tice, you're right. Some of those skits do be corny. Some of those skits could definitely stand to be funnier. But that one, they killed that. They killed that. Well, if you go to that dude channel, I don't know the name of his channel, but it's out there. It's just a bunch of videos of him walking around looking like Andrew Tate and just walking to the room looking all tough and super masculine, and then would just break out into just the gayest shit ever. I mean, yeah, that shit is fucking funny. But all right, we back into it.
And I had to make that decision. I remember you were there.
Yeah.
We had Andrew here. And I was like, well, we got people working for us now. There's people that depend on us. You had to pretty much quit your gig. So I was like, all right, I'm going to resign. And I walked in December 5th, turned in all my stuff. And yeah, I walked away from the US government. It was a good, six-figure job. It was stable. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. You guys know on my Fed Reacts, you guys see how I talk when I'm talking on that channel. And yeah, and I tell you guys that story to tell you that I haven't felt like that since today. And it sucks, guys. It really does suck. Fortunately, we made some moves, etc. And we kind of knew that the type of content that we make, for us to be able to give you this content, we have to.
It comes at a cost.
It comes at a cost, dude.
And it won't be here forever.
Yeah. And
we know that going
Fresh
into it.
always said this, enjoy us while you can.
Yeah. They thought we was capping, man.
Yeah.
They thought it was a joke.
And we made moves on the side knowing that this could potentially happen. And guys, the channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. Just keep it straight with
If you look right now, you can't even super chat or
you can't even super chat right now.
Yep.
So this is the beginning of the end of this era.
So we are in trolling chat. So
yeah. So you literally can't. Yeah, man. So it's so basically we're gonna figure out what's going on because we don't even really know all the details. We're working with YouTube to try to come to a middle ground and work together and figure this out.
In my experience, just knowing how this shit tends to work with all the content creators that I've talked to, I've never went through nothing like this, but I've talked to a lot of content creators. When YouTube strike you like that and you're no longer monetized and they don't tell you why, that shit is damn near indefinite. Like if you know why, then you're kind of good, Like, for example, I believe it was a time period when Obsidian lost monetization, and they told them, they said, you have too much copyrighted material on your YouTube channel, and so they gave them like a month to clean it up. So I think in a month or maybe 2 months, however long it took him to go through the archives and clean up all the copyrighted stuff and edit out all the copyrighted stuff or just take the videos down or do whatever he had to do, however long it took. Once he did that, after a month or two or something like that, he was back up. All the people that YouTube just take you down and you don't get a specific reason why, but instead you get like a vague, our our community standards and blah 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 criteria and this and that and blah 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 with community standards and da 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 have been upheld, and we value that and we uphold the community and keeping the such and such and blah 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 legal language blah blah blah. When it looked like that, but they didn't give a reason, you fucked. When it looked like that, it's done. Like they're basically saying we don't fuck with you. That's literally what they're saying. That's literally what's going on. That's YouTube telling them that it's a wrap. Forget about it. It's curtains. You can post content over here, but you're not making money over here. So there's that. So yeah, they might be fucked on YouTube. They probably still do their channel. I'm sure they still can get views, but they're not going to make money on YouTube.
But for now,
we don't even know why.
We don't know the specific reason.
But we don't, in any form or fashion,
Chris,
hate YouTube or want to go at them. We're just saying, you know what? We wish we knew the reason why, but we respect, for them to use the platform and keeping us here for a while, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, but and the thing is that you guys know, right? On this pod, we push the edge, right? We push the envelope. We're not going to lie about that. Like, we give you guys the real deal when it comes to getting in shape, when it comes to
money, girls,
dating, improving yourself, etc. And unfortunately, to be able to give people real advice that they can take in real life and apply to the real world, you have to have uncomfortable conversations about uncomfortable topics in uncomfortable times. Guys, it's about to be an election year. You know what I mean? We're talking about certain points, and we've brought up certain points that might not be politically correct, right? That might not necessarily align with everyone's viewpoints, right? And we've worked really hard to bring people on that have different viewpoints, right? Some of them very controversial, some of them that may or may not be politically correct.
Everything that he's saying right there, that's letting me know that they understand where they fucked up. That's letting me know that they fully understand exactly where they fucked up. Is this kind of shit.
May have just ended his own career. Recently on Sneeko stream, Myron spent 45 minutes calling Abba and Preach racial and homophobic slurs. This comes just days after making a quote-unquote nuke stream that fell flat even in the fans' eyes. Ironically, Fit, who preaches that men are more logical than women, spent more than 3 hours in total reacting out of emotion. The Sneeko stream was so gut-wrenchingly cringe that you can see the visible discomfort in everyone's face.
I know you ain't talking.
Wait, that ain't even the one that I was looking for. That was some other general information that might get you strike, but what I think it's the clan hood palling around with Nick Fuentes and the conspiracy theory shit. That's what it is. That's what it is. Being a 911 denier, a Holocaust denier, having Nick Fuentes on there and wearing a clan hood even as a joke. I think that's a trifecta. Well, actually, I said 14. It's a quadfecta, if I said that word right. That basically YouTube is going to say, we can't have somebody with 1.5 million subs doing that shit. That you might as well have Alex Jones going around denying, the Sandy Hook incident where a bunch of kids got shot by some crazy person who went in there with an AK-47 and shot up 20 elementary school kids. Alex Jones, calling out the family members by name, saying they are fake crisis actors and stuff. Like, very faint proof of any of that. It's like some stuff that YouTube is just going to be like, no, you can do stuff like that if you got a small niche audience, but you can't have you can't have a channel that's in the algorithm meeting the masses and have 20 million subs. Have getting 20 million views on one video, 30 million. You can't be doing that and that crazy and think that our advertisers going to be cool with it. It's like those are the things where the line just get crossed. So again, there's something that could be said about free speech and the value of free speech and all of that good stuff. But at the end of the day, YouTube sets where the line is. That line gets crossed, that's your ass. They built a channel on dunking on the modern woman who was essentially bringing in female props that were essentially intellectual midgets in a debate about the social dynamics between men and women. They dunked on the intellectual midgets and they grew their channel with that. A few crazy things happened. YouTube was okay with it. They start getting more on some Alex Jones type stuff. They start getting more on, rocking with Nick Fuentes. They started getting heavy on that, and then that's where the hammer got brought down. Something that probably represented only 3% of their content brought down a vehicle that was a cash cow for them. Like, just imagine if like Kevin Samuels built his channel doing what he did, having the women come on there and he dressing them down, height, weight, dress size, blah, blah, blah. You average at best. Kevin Samuels grow his channel on that, become a megastar on that. But every now and then, like 3% of his content, he will go off on like some Jason Black calling out white supremacy shit. It's like, whoa. We can have a small channel with you pro blackity black and calling out white supremacy, but you ain't about to be having damn near 2 million subscribers, calling white people devils. Not that I don't know if Jason, I don't think Jason Black used that lingo, but you might as well. But you get the point. Now, I don't even know if that part is true, because I have my theories on that. I have my theories on that they'll let you rock out if you're calling white people racist. I have my theories on that. A lot of people don't know the history. Cynthia G got struck down on when she was calling them albinoid devils and all kind of stuff like that. They struck her down, and she reemerged and came back and started talking shit about black men. That was her Marvel origin story. When I don't know what her logic was on you can't beat them, join them. I don't know, but either way it go, she used to talk shit about white racists, and she got her channel taken down, and then she damn near turned into one against black men. So that was what happened right there. Now, my theory is this, and this is something to think about for those who claim everything is white supremacy. We're ruled by white supremacy. Thank you, Jackie Jack. Charlemagne calls white people devils all the time. Gotcha. Good. Because I was sitting there trying to think of what's the channel, and I just reviewed them. I should have been able to point it out. I was trying to think of what's the channel that be calling white people racist and this or that or blah blah blah. Is it one that's in that's truly up there in the millions? Now, they don't specialize in that, but that's I would say, talking about white racism is probably 15% of their content. And you can get away with that. But everybody who makes a big fuss talking about everything is governed by white supremacy, I'm talking about, this is the Tariq Nasheed types, think everything is governed by white supremacy. However, Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, they able to rock out. Nick Fuentes banned on every platform. Myron Gaines, through association with Nick Fuentes, banned, demonetized. Like, that's where they draw that heavy line. This is no other way to look around it. They draw that heavy line right there. They'll let you come on. They'll let you come on their platform, call them white supremacists while making them money, and while you're making money off of them while calling them white supremacists. They will let you rock out, but they will ban the white supremacists, and they will ban a black person if he starts using the rhetoric of the person of the white supremacist. So they'll go after them. It's like it's hard to get around the fact that that's what it is and that's what it was, and that he understands that. He understands that. And Myron just basically made it clear that we've had controversial people on there, and we do that for pushing the envelope on conversations. But I think it's clear where that line is at. You can't be too big and talk about that. You mentioned the election year coming up. You mentioned the election year. That's a whole nother thing. They like, if you about to be, going at the government, certain shit that no, they got zero tolerance for. Hoop Jogging Media Network in the building says you was talking about the Johnny. Nah, I wouldn't, but we gonna play that. We gonna play that Johnny.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Appreciate you putting $2 on it. Shout out to Hoop Jargon Media in the building. Thank you for putting 5 on it. Thank you for putting. All right. What we got here? That's currently going on with my channel, but people still cash at me. I don't know why they can't do that. Well, they can, but a lot of people don't. Something about the psychology. More people are inclined to super chat than cash app. Is what it is. Is what it is. I didn't know you didn't have monetization. But all right. I'm gonna roll some more of this.
And that's unfortunately the risk that you take when you make the kind of content that we do.
Even other platforms, look at Rumble.
But the kind of content that's there, this is their biggest mistake. This is their fatal error. The kind of content that they do, that they made their money on, that they got rich on, that's their meal ticket, is not the content that got them hit. It's just not. You can't understate that. You can't understate that's a fatal error. Like, put it like this: if the thing that got them hit was doing the content where they dunking on the modern woman in debates over the social dynamics between men and women, if that was the content that got them hit, then okay, whatever. That's the content we do. That's the bed. That's the bed we make. That's the bed we lay in. We'll go down with the ship. You can't. What can you say to that? Can't argue with that. You can't fight that. If it was a content about women that got them hit, it's nothing. It's nothing to be said or nothing to be debated. This is what we do. They're saying we can't do what we do, then fine. But they didn't go down because of what they do. They went down over something that only represented like 3% of their content. Falcon Schwarzenegger said red pill content in general will get demonetized. Yeah. But Kevin Samuels was rocking. Fresh and Fit was rocking until they start palling around with white supremacists. If you were paying attention in the 2008 election, you know where that term palling around means. That's what I said about you get the reference. That's what they said about Barack Obama. I forgot the guy's name. Sir Tice know it. The guy that they said Barack Obama started his political campaign in the house of domestic terror. Let me not get struck down, but I forgot this guy's name. But they said Barack Obama was palling around with a terrorist. Yeah, that's what they said about Barack, palling around with terrorists. I can't even think of I can't think of the guy's name. Don't matter. But yeah. So yeah, as my view, Fresh and Fit got hit. Nope, that was his pastor. that was his pastor. What you talking about? That wasn't a terrorist he was palling around with. That was when Barack Obama went to church. Barack Obama, in my opinion, is a closeted atheist. I have my reasons for believing that. Yeah, well, y'all got y'all conspiracy theories about him being gay and Michelle Obama being a man. Like, no, I don't go that far. But No, I think I do believe he's a closeted atheist. But Jeremiah, when he you wanted to present as a black man of God, Bill Ayers. I knew Sir Tice knew it. That's the guy's name. When you want to present, we present as a black man of God running for office. Jeremiah Wright's church was a church that he joined, and Jeremiah Wright is on record. Yeah, saying some anti-America stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. Sir Tice, we would do a one-on-one called "Is Barack Obama Gay?" But I don't want to lose my channel. Yeah. Says Mike Obama voted as a man 1997 to 2008. Man, yeah. But the moral of my story here, going down that route and talking about that stuff, which is just 5% of their content, maybe 3% of their content, I believe that's what they got hit for. It's not for their main content. So I know that has to hurt. Like the content that I do, if I lose my channel doing the content that I do, and it's the content I believe in, then oh well, I'll take that. I'll go down with that. But there's no way that just if 3% of the time I like to talk about this one little thing, and that one little thing is what get it done. Hell no, I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed beyond pissed. Because that's a fatal error that could have been avoided because I didn't have to talk about that little 3% of the time shit. And that's where they fucked up.
They're taking a huge beating on the stock market.
Yeah.
I mean, they're up.
Despite having one of the best years for revenue and for views and everything. And
so this comes at a cost no matter who you are. Company, individual, creator.
Yep.
And a lot of you guys want to be aspiring RB creators as well. And I respect that, but just know at some point we're gonna have to deal with this price. And
real talk, more than ever. I know a lot of you guys send me messages, and trust me, I'll look at them. I really do look at them. And as a matter of fact, make it sandwiches now or whatever it is. Messages, and trust me, I'll look at them. Talk more than ever. I know a lot of you guys send me messages, and trust me, I'll look at them. I really do look at them. And as a matter of fact, I save them too because I sent some of them to Fresh today.
Yeah.
When you guys send me your DMs and say, yo, you saved my life. Yo, you send me a picture of your credit score. Yo, my girl is making sandwiches now or whatever it is, right? That really means a lot to us, right? We've helped a lot of you guys from killing yourselves, from injuring yourself, from making a really bad decision or doing something that you can't necessarily take back. What I'm asking you guys is, just like we've saved you guys, we need you guys to save us. We need you guys to support us on Rumble because that's the last bastion of free speech at this point.
Yeah.
Rumble.com/freshofit, guys. Like, you need to go on there right now, follow the channel, subscribe. It's $5 a month because if you guys want us to keep making this content, that's what it's going to be. And we've worked really hard to try to
keep it free
as long as possible, man.
On YouTube.
All right. Respect that part that he said right there. I do. But I want to play. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna open the panel up. But I do want to play the part where Myron got emotional.
Taking off the platform like that in the program is kind of crazy because man,
it just sucks when something that you worked so hard to build up, they're just. And here's the thing: it's not about the money, man.
Yeah,
it really isn't about the money, man. I could walk away from all this and be okay.
Today,
what bothers me is if we're not able to be on YouTube, we might not be able to reach someone who really needs us. If you guys saw the amount of messages I get where they say I was going to end it tomorrow, and I saw your video.
The question is, who else is going to do it? Who? So Guys, you can find us on Rumble, man. The link is in the chat. It's right there on the screen as well. If you really support us, we have just one thing.
Hey, I think I skipped past the part. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second.
Well, I'm doing this, blah blah blah, and I hate doing this. I love doing this. I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say I didn't love doing this. I left a job that I truly loved to do this, right? Because I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
Damn, Fresh is balled up like a motherfucker too.
Yeah, man, this is tough, bro. Because
link is in the chat. Link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. At least it should be. Link is in the chat room. At least I think it is. All right. All right. Yeah. I understand how difficult it is when you put something into something and you build something, and to lose aspects of it or lose it altogether. I literally understand how hard that is. So, it sort of bothers me that there's a lot of men who they ain't done a damn thing to, who are just having just way too much fun with this shit. And I'm like, nah, like that ain't it to me. That ain't it to me. I don't get that. I can't rock with that. I can't go with that. I cannot, stand behind that, Seeing somebody cry, I mean, it's a little funny seeing a grown man cry. Okay, we can crack some. I understand some jokes, but some people overdoing it. Some people overdoing it. But shout out to who else we got in here. Shout out to Uno. Says I think they got demonetized because of that stuff. They hinted at it the other day, that along with they get hit pieces by Media Matters lib.org or something like that. Yeah. I mean, we see the reality on that shit. We see the reality on that shit. It wasn't their main primary content that they did that got them hit. It was bringing on a card carrying Holocaust denier. That's all to it. Or not a Holocaust denier, a Holocaust. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that, and then ... blah blah blah. Who damn near argue that I think his position is it's exaggerated. I heard him break it down a lot of stuff about it, but that's what got them hit. I'll see Sir Tice in the back. Let me get Sir Tice.
We didn't miss a day, honestly. It's tough. We gave up so much to give you guys value. So yep.
Yeah, Myron walk off the stage. Fresh don't got a lot to say. But all right.
Good afternoon, by the way. And salute to the chat as always. Look, shout out to these brothers and became millionaires. But did Fresh just say we gave up a lot? Dude, you are a support engineer, man. See, here's the thing. I don't like to bag on these guys in the sense because I don't really watch them. I consider them to be more for the 20 to 35 audience, maybe even a 20 to 30 audience. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've never really watched a full episode on them. I will say an apology. I did call Myron corny one time or whatever, and I feel bad in saying it because just so what, he grew up with who he grew up with. That's how he rolls. That's how he rolls. So I'll correct myself on that one. But for these guys to say all of what they just said about how they were helping out men and all this, I've never didn't. I don't watch it, but they talk about. I highly doubt they're telling dudes how to superset, how many, what you should do when you're in working out and things like that, But
they literally do. Myron is before he was
trainer, but I'm saying
yeah.
I've never. Well, then I don't watch it, but I don't. We all know that that's not the bulk of their content, but
of course.
But to see, hold on a second. And again, I'm not going to pile on them. I'm more or less going to talk about the people that's talking about them. But for that last act, I mean, even Hoop had put in a bunch of caps or whatever when he just walked away. Look, man, I don't even think.
Yeah, you ain't buy that. Yeah.
Okay, I know.
Dude, they're potentially about to lose millions of dollars. That's worth crying for.
Hear me out. Okay, like Fresh is like 28 going on 55 or whatever, right? But Fit, I mean, come on, man. These brothers ain't even barely in their mid-30s. They've stacked up millions. Hey, man, sometimes your song ain't hot anymore. You got to transition. Remember that guy, Chameleonaire, Riding Dirty? Remember that? Remember that one song from the mid 2000s? They see me rolling, they hating. I guess you didn't, Bernie. Anyways, I'm sure.
I remember.
Yeah, that dude took his money and is now some kind of venture capitalist, man. I mean, this shit you're gonna lose a job. Your business is gonna go through some interruption or what have you. It's happened to all of us, and for them to see that, I mean, I could see if they were just making a couple 100,000. It's like, what are we gonna do? These dudes were making millions, okay.
I understand, but dude, that's their baby. They built that.
I get that, but that whole crime, and by the way, that crime shit ain't gonna endear you to no damn fucking audience. Y'all talking all this bravado shit, and now it makes it bad for people like me when I try to defend your ass. It's like, well, damn, I can't stand on that. But this just ties into my point. I saw so many forget the females. I saw so many. I won't say the word that Little Big Nate says or whatever. So, but I'll just say so many punk ass males cheering this. I'm like, damn, y'all on some bullshit or whatever. Now, again, I know I just talked about them in the sense of whatever with the money. I'm saying that they have enough. First of all, their channel is still on. Number two, they have the Cashapp option. Number three, they can go to other platforms still. Now, will it be as big? Probably not. But as a business, you have to adapt. That's what I'm saying.
I got you on that. They'll
yeah. Shout out the Freedman Journal. O'Shea gonna probably do 30 videos on this one.
Oh, he's up to like 4. He's up to like 4.
Yeah.
This is one thing that got to be addressed here. Little Big Nate. He says, "What if Nick is telling the truth?" It don't fucking matter. It don't matter. It's like you didn't build your content on talking about what was going on in Germany back in 19.
Exactly.
I forgot. They didn't grow their content on that. My bad on forgetting. Date 42.
42 is when the war started. The whole world started, but the whole thing started in the 30s as far as them rounding.
Okay, all right. So yeah, they didn't build their content on what was going on in Germany in 1930. All right, but they bring somebody on who's going to say that controversial stuff that's going to get their channel taken down due to an association with a guy who they didn't necessarily who's bad for business. There are certain uncomfortable truths when it comes to the core things that my channel is about, that if I will say it and if it get my channel taken down, then so be it. But riding on the J folks about the whether or not the Holocaust happened, to what degree and what specifications and what's the total number and I'm like, nah. It's like if the powers that be at YouTube is saying that's a no-no, that ain't a hill I'm about to die on.
You know, M. Dot, I agree with you. M. Dot just says something interesting in the chat, and he is right because I know one of the content creators that they actually did this on. They have done some stuff, you know, like putting in copyright claims or whatever. It was something that you covered a couple years ago that they did. I don't think they did it on you, but it was a big controversy they were embroiled in. I can't remember now. When they do the whole copyright strikes, you know, or put a copyright, you know, if you're talking about them, they're gonna do a copyright claim. I think that's some bitch ass shit, you know.
Oh no, they didn't do that on me. I wasn't
I know
entangled in that.
I know they did it on someone else.
It was like 10 or 12 people that got hit by a copyright strike by Fresh and Fit. Yeah.
Right. So that is, listen, again, I'm not okay. Look, to me, that show was just a modern Jenny Jones, Jerry Springer. That's pretty much what it was for this generation. You know, somebody's just gonna cut up on there, you know, but back to these people who are cutting up or online. Man, I see dudes talking about, man, they weren't FBA anyway. It was one person in the chat. I'm gonna let y'all have that FBA stuff or whatever. You know, I'll just say this: y'all can't do things without y'all own selves, let alone hurting your allies. Yeah, I said it. Show me somebody who's won a war without allies. So all you FBA, fuck everybody who ain't here, whatever. Show me somebody who's won a war without allies. I'll wait. Meantime, yeah, they say some stupid ass shit, and that whole thing with the hood. Oh my god. I don't know if he has a comedy writer or if he thinks that this shit is funny or if he thinks just, oh, I'm just going to push the edge. You know, look, for him to have been in law enforcement, you would think that he would at least know better, you know, but all I'm saying is that it's not over for them. You know, they can still do something, but for people who are just happy about it, and he's like, yeah, I'm glad they channel gone. And I'm like, well, you do know that demonetization doesn't mean your channel's gone. Ah, fuck you. You probably a fan of theirs. And it's like, oh my God, you can't even talk to some of us at times. And again, I'm talking about the men.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it is. That's how it is. What
Okay,
am I?
hold on. Weed man. Do I have to? Fuck it. You're right. I'm talking about Fresh.
What's going on?
Specifically being your allies.
Oh,
My
shit.
bad. You're right. My bad. You know what? I've learned to not even just, you know how you'll say something and then they'll take what you say and then just apply it exactly. I was talking about allies as far as so-called immigrants, not all like particularly black immigrants or what have you. You know, the ones who have to come here legally, not the illegal ones you guys support and shit. You know, I'm saying, yeah. Those people, those could be potential allies. But again, that wasn't my main point in saying that. I was saying, name someone who's won a war without allies. I'll wait. You say Fresh and Fit can't be allies. I wasn't necessarily talking about them. All right, move on.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna pull up something. I don't even know if I got the full solid video of him like doing that hood thing, the Klan hood. Like that was.
What about the
That was
argument?
poor.
What about the argument?
Okay, go ahead.
That people will say that wasn't on YouTube. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that I was meaning to get to. That's where they also set themselves up for failure.
What? That's what you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because check it out. It's stuff that went down not on YouTube, but it doesn't matter. It's out there in the ether. It's out there as a part of your brand and your image and your likeness and your whole thing. So I don't think you can pull it's not on YouTube. Like you can get demonetized on YouTube for stuff you're doing on other platforms if that stuff is spreading around like that. Yeah, I think that's I think even though they thought they were doing a good workaround, all right, let's take this controversial stuff to Rumble. It's like, no, it don't really work like that. Eventually, it will come a point where YouTube is going to, I don't want to say make you choose because they're going to choose for you, but YouTube is going to decide that you either going to be here not monetized or you're going to be on Rumble just doing your thing exclusively, one or the other. So yeah,
I think a good point about visibility earlier in your monologue when you're basically like, if you're RBR, you can do this.
Yeah, RBR. Man, if RBR had 1.5 million subs, they probably shut his ass down instantly.
And shout out who in the chat mentioned it. I didn't just think of that. Whatever, you know. But yeah, you know, it depends on. Look, you got plenty of channels out there. I don't know every single YouTube channel. You got plenty of channels that go in, I'm sure, on Black people, Hispanics, you know, that event that we're not supposed to talk about that didn't allegedly happen, or the numbers were exaggerated. I don't know what I'm talking about there. No, you know, you got channels out there that do that, but they do it in clever ways, you know, and then they're not that big. You just can't be like that, you know. But no, that's just my take there. I know it was a joke or what have you. I'm just saying. Oh, they're saying he is a joke. Never mind. My bad. They're talking about
Man, RBR. Look, there's video of RBR on actual like daytime television back in the day.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw that. But you know, when I see RBR, I just cringe, and it's just like system error, system error, system error. You know.
he was talking the same shit 30 years ago, man. That man, RBR, that he ain't just joking. Like that man.
So what you low key saying is that he hasn't evolved.
No, he haven't. RBR is 10 toes down in all that shit that he's saying. He's been on that shit from damn near day one.
So you know I'm gonna keep bothering you with this, and I know it's not about the show.
It's all good. It's all good.
I know it's not about the show, but and I see Nate in the chat, so he's gonna agree. So I sent you a letter that Obama was writing his ex-girlfriend about his imagining.
That was weird.
Okay. I wonder if RBR, if you're out there, I would love to hear you to explain that one. You know, because that great, I forgot what he used to call Obama. He used to call him the great something or what have you. It's escaping me now. But yeah, writing a letter, and for the audience who may not, you know, the few of you may not know, the president for number 44 wrote a letter when he was 21 or 22 years old to his then girlfriend that he imagines having relations with men. Not my words. These are his words.
Do you got that? I might as well. Do you got that handy?
I can get it.
You send it to me in the email.
Yeah.
If it was in the email, I'll probably be able to find it.
Yeah, but if you're digging that out, yeah, because he defends everything. I need to hear. And on the real talk, these letters and all this stuff was very well known beforehand, years ago. And what they're saying is that the media kind of kept that under wraps or what have you, you know, because that would have aroused questions. Now, no one really cares. Although I personally think he's the president in secret, but that's just my own conspiracy theory, you know. Omega Dread says RBR is the truth. Oh, the black genius. That's it, D-Mac. That's it. That's what he calls.
You call him the black genius?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
I got the link, man. I'll put it in the back chat.
I can't find it.
But while you're doing that, just on this Fresh and Fit thing, they've done 4 or 5 shows since I went and just checked it while you were on, like to see if they've done any more content. They're doing interviewing with psychologists now and all this, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy.
They already did stuff. They did the after hours show.
Oh, they did.
They did it. I believe I saw it on there. They must. Well, you know, if they're going to be on Rumble, they might as well put some of it on YouTube. You know, I think it may have been a shorter show. Let me see. I got their page up right now. I'll look right now. But they
and the 44th letter is in the back chat.
Okay, good. I'll read the money shot and we'll
okay. Pause.
Yeah. So it says, yeah. So it looked like they did the after hours last night. And it looked edited. It looked like they put it up as like a upload. Yeah, it wasn't live. I can look at it and tell this was like a pre-recorded upload. Either that or they just edited out the beginning of it, but it's only 54 minutes long. So yeah, they're doing reduced, condensed down versions of their their Fresh and Fit After Hours show. At least they're putting a reduced version on YouTube. But before I get to the Obama letter, Wizard X in the building says, I supported Fresh and Fit. They are one of the content creators pivotal for Rumble content beyond political, per reviewed financial of Rum. Thank you for the super chat. Dude. All right. Let me pull this up.
Now, why are you doing that? One thing I've heard from about Myron, and by the way, you made a comment about where they live. They're in one of those. It's called Brickell. They're in one of those districts where it used to be business, and you know how they try to turn business districts into residentials things, but it's right around the corner from like where all the hustle and bustle is. I can see exactly why some of those people in their building probably were like, okay, this is too much, it's too much noise, and then at the middle of the night, but it seems like Myron, he's not a spender at all. I saw a montage of damn it, what's his name? Fresh's car collection or whatever. It was like a rapper on cribs and shit,
Yeah.
And, I definitely don't believe that Myron drives a 2010 Honda Accord like they were trying to say. I definitely don't believe that, but
in the video that I was playing, they said Fresh got rid of his cars.
Oh wow, good.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you don't need all that shit anyway. So yeah,
I don't disagree one bit. All right, I'll let you go to the 40.
But anyway, I'm just gonna read. I ain't gonna put it on the screen. But this is a quote, allegedly. No, this is the quote. This is a quote in a letter that he wrote to his girlfriend, his white girlfriend. She was white. Michelle Obama, per they say, is the first black woman he dealt with. But all right, okay. So, in regard to homosexuality, I must say that I believe this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present. A refusal perhaps to perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. It's very poetic. But anyway, okay. Obama reportedly wrote, according to a copy of the transcript shared with the New York. Oh wait, well hold on. I thought that was the uninterrupted quote. Hold on. You said you see. Okay, they should have just did it uninterrupted. So it says, right now I got it. A refusal perhaps to perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. You see, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination. It's a weird. Okay. In regards to homosexuality, I must say I believe that this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present, a refusal perhaps to perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. You see, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination. That is a weird quote. That just sounds weird. It's worded weird. It's everything about it is weird.
Couple of things real quick. So shout out to Chronicles of Judah. He's the first person who I ever heard of this term ever in my life, that pansexual. Since then, there's been a Hollywood game show host who said that he is one or whatever, right? But that same COJ concluded that that's what he thinks number 44 is. My thing is, first of all, he wrote with a lot of eloquence at 21 years old, because I can definitely tell you my vocabulary wasn't like that at 21.
It was very eloquent and very poetically written, to where it's, other than the blunt line at the end, it's hard to really derive what is meant by it. And even if you take the blunt line at the end and then take, but then I put it in conjunction with what he was saying in the previous lines, it makes you question what does it all. He
can dress.
I don't know.
It's more like when someone is trying to be. Damn it! I just had it off the tip of my tongue. When someone is trying to be over eloquent or trying to over explain something that can be just said in simple freaking words or what have you. So and he's trying to impress upon her his vocabulary, because in the early 80s at the time, I guess that's what dudes did or whatever when they wrote these letters.
Oh yeah, he was on some light-skinned poem writing, abstract writing haikus and all kind of shit to the women back then. Yeah, he was on that shit.
Haikus.
But
Oh my God, that's a
but yeah, that you could tell he was on that. But all right, we're gonna damn near have to move past this. I briefly touch on it, but again, I don't know if this qualifies as one that'll get you taken down, but I do believe you do a whole stream on that one. They might come for you for coming for Barry O. So anyway, Sodomy and Chicken says, isn't your boy Jesse Lee Peterson? Well, okay, he's my boy. Really? Just
I thought
call him my boy.
I thought he just played. I thought he just played on or hit on the same side of the plate. You know.
Beta.
That never gets old.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with Jesse, but that expose they put on him was pretty damning. You ain't no. As much as I would want to say, well, they don't got good evidence, but shit.
It was like, Jesse, why are you touching me there? Like, what?
That evidence was strong. Like the dude, white man sitting there crying, talking about, I lost my wife over Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, it was like that bad. Like, holy shit. Like, all right. But anyway.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
All right, joined by GC. What's up and what's going on? What's up and what's going on? GC, you're muted. Unmute. Okay, is this GC? This is definitely Game Changer, but you are muted and we can't not hear you. We can't not hear you. So,
wait, you're talking to me? I'm here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're here. There you go.
Yeah, I was having some technical difficulties, but
No
yeah,
problem.
I think as it relates to as Fresh and Fit, yeah, you were right when you say that it's because they started off that they led into that. Because you see, YouTube don't really like when you do the whole bait and switch. They try to avoid that at all costs. The reason why these Fuentes style channels, the ones the such and such deniers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The reasons why they're small, it's not because people aren't interested. Well, maybe that's part of it, but it's because YouTube don't push them. You know how they work. I mean, if they don't like your show, your impressions will show. Your impressions will be low, and they limit the scope of the people that they send you to. So for somebody like Fresh and Fit who expand their scope and then bring somebody like that on, they feel that they were cheating the algorithm, and they are essentially. It's a bait and switch. They were like, listen, we wouldn't have promoted your channel if you was going to come with this message. So now that we allowed you, then that's the way YouTube see it. They allowed you to get this big, you use that against us, our narrative. I mean, and really just by all logic, it's it's kind of like you tell somebody that, hey, I'm not inviting this person to my party, and then you try to bring them on as a +1. You are going to, no, honestly,
damn, that was good.
Yeah,
that was.
I like that because I've seen
that was one of those great GC analogies. Free Zone Lou. Anyway, that's a little subplot from a previous show about GC analogies, but that one was damn good.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's how you not get invited to the party again. Like, hey, wait, who let this person in? Like I did. Like, oh, okay. So I mean, that's what's going on with them right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't see it at first, but yeah, it has to be that. And they picked some heels they didn't have to die on, Just like I'm not going to let Sir Tice make me die on this Michelle Obama is a man heel.
It's just perfect timing, that's all. Let me ask you both a question before you create this. I'll let you both rock. Do they do Cash Apps? I don't know if they do, but don't they do Cash Apps?
Oh, I don't know, but I do know that their Cash Apps aren't as popular as Super Chats because people want to be seen.
What are they? Again, I know you don't watch it. I'm looking for the audience mail list. Do they still get like 3,000, 5,000. Like, what are they getting? What were they getting per stream?
Oh, I don't watch them.
I don't know.
More to audience, GC.
I can't tell you what they were getting per stream, but what I can tell you, as somebody else pointed out in the chat room at the beginning of the show, they rank number 2 in terms of most super chatted, and that's and bear in mind, like I don't know if that was like per the month, per the week,
for the year.
for the year.
mentioned that. Yeah, I looked it
Okay,
up.
good. Yeah, that was you. So yeah, for the year, that lets you know everything you need to know. So yeah, you can't. Yeah. What can you say about that? Like they hold on, wait. The point is, Cash Apps. No, even if they get Cash Apps and they give people another way to pay, it's not gonna top that. It's not gonna top that.
No, definitely not. Oh well, no, I guess my conclusion was I remember last when I was when KS was alive, he was getting 20,000, per stream, on an average. I'm like, damn, and I guess my simple point is that if you're even getting 5,000, or if you get that 5,000, that could still be a lot of Cash Apps for him. Thank you, Clue. He said 10,000. Okay, so I mean, it ain't curtains for him, but go ahead.
Well, no, it ain't curtains, but this is an extraordinary interrupt in their cash flow. I mean, the higher the cash flow, the greater the interruption. So, this is, and I don't think that this is going to be the end of them. People have been demonetized and then remonetized later. I do think that YouTube isn't going to push their algorithm as tough for a while because I've been through that. And but at this point, it probably doesn't matter. I will say that bigger YouTubers have failed, because YouTube didn't like them. So they do have to tread carefully. It is interesting to see where they go, but I mean, I think that they feel that they're too big to fail, and they're not. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, the way they reacted to this, I don't. Are you saying that they thought that they were too big for YouTube to strike them down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they foolishly thought taking it to this is controversial. Let's take it to Rumble. I think they thought that was going to save them, but that it didn't, because it's out there in their brand that they pal around with Holocaust deniers. Like,
well, I mean, did they first do it on YouTube and then move it to Rumble?
They start out on YouTube. They give you the diet PG-13 version on YouTube, and then they like I watched when they had Saint Nick on there on Rumble. When they had him on there on YouTube, it was the diet version, but on Rumble, yeah, he went all in with all his everything, all his isms and schisms and everything. Yeah.
No, but what I mean by that is, when did they do it live with him on YouTube first? And
yes.
So yeah, I mean, so no matter what, it's on YouTube. It's in the algorithm. They have the original version.
No. I see what you're saying. They started out on YouTube. They did like an hour and a half on YouTube.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they were doing a multi-stream. It was Rumble and YouTube going simultaneously. And then at about the hour mark or 2 hour mark, they cut the YouTube feed and only Rumble.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, many news channels that talk about controversial things like Kim Iverson, Breaking Points, they'll do that also.
Yeah, they're on their own platform.
Would you say, GC, who's on their own platform? Who
news
media?
No, when the news media, they do what they do. They're on their own platform. They're on their own stuff. So, they can pretty much do that. And yeah, because it's their house. This is YouTube's house, and you can't be Rick James in it, without expecting retaliation.
What do you think about the well, what about free speech? What do you think about that? Because I mean, clearly, when it comes to that kind of shit, YouTube is clearly like, well, fuck your free speech, nigga. Like Rick James was like, fuck your couch, nigga. That YouTube is like, fuck your free speech, nigga. So what do you think about the whole free speech angle on it, and whether or not,
Well, I mean, free speech don't apply to private entities. Like, I mean, a person I mean, YouTube is a privately owned, you know, Google, all that. This is privately owned, so it doesn't really
It
apply to that.
it is, but in
Just
this
like you can't
social
go to somebody's
media,
house and curse in front of their kids. Go for it.
here's the thing. In this world where private entities can get so big to where they could damn near influence elections, it just seems like I'm just spitballing, trying to just tease out the ideas. Does it get to a point to where, like, I mean, can we really call Facebook a private entity? I mean, can something get so big to where it ain't a private entity no more? I mean, they did have Zuckerberg in front of Congress having to ask questions and having to answer questions and shit. I mean, I think that's what I'm kind of, trying to tease out the lines and barriers of, I'm just a little small private industry. No, it's not. You're a damn world shaker and mover. Like, you understand my point, or where I'm trying to go with this?
No, I get what you're saying. So corporations have become a lot more powerful since the Second Amendment was written, or excuse me, since the First Amendment was written. So yeah, and they probably didn't understand that soapboxes could get so big.
Yeah.
So I do get that. But I mean, if we're talking about the spirit of what they did, I'm saying that's how YouTube is able to get away with it.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, this is a private thing. You could say what you want in the privacy of your own home, or in public places. Which is why BLM rallies and all that that happens in public places. They can't go to Cletus's farm and do that. I mean, so I mean, yeah, you could do what you want, and as far as free speech goes, but in public places, like this, YouTube is not a public place.
Yeah.
And this is from somebody that's against censorship, but I mean, these companies are drawing a line somewhere. And then, I mean, because the argument that you're talking about is really more against what's that called? What's that department that says that there's too much cussing on the radios and things like that?
FCC.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that argument can be brought to the FCC on that. The people who regulate things like that, and determines if something is safe for television. And I do think that the FCC exists because at some point society says, okay, yeah, we believe in freedom of speech, but you can't have a bunch of sexually explicit things and then put it on Nickelodeon. Like we got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
Fair
and
point.
that's where, and that what you just said right there, that's why there, and somebody said it's a judicial debate, excuse me, a judicial debate going on about the thing that I brought up, that a line has to be drawn somewhere. But the mere fact that somebody's little private soapbox is that damn big of a soapbox, it can influence elections. So new lines got to be drawn, but then when they do that, they're rewriting the whole idea and concept of free speech, private enterprise. And from a capitalistic standpoint, how big can somebody get? And if they get too big to where they got more influence on the people than what any government than what the government can actually exercise their control and their influence. But go ahead, Sir Tice. He was about to jump in
I
and
was
say
going to say
something.
this, and then I'll bounce off. I think, and GC as usual makes some good points here. My issue, like I said at the very beginning, and I said I'm not a big fan of them. I hardly ever watch them, if I've ever, but is the black men that are cheering this. Now, again, I know free speech isn't free speech and blah, blah, blah. But when somebody can get on a platform and say, delete black male babies, and you saying bitch ass N-words aren't saying anything about that or whatever, but then you got your pom-poms in the air about this, it's like, damn, whose side are you on? I'm talking about, the audience. I ain't talking about we already know the entity does not care about black men. We know that going in, and then it just shows me where many black men are or whatever. They ain't gonna give up that strag pussy. You know, no, man, he was mean to FBA women. I'm like, what the fuck are FBA? I'm like, oh my God, this shit is hit this place, you know?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I would fall in that category. Not that I did a stream, and I could have, but I didn't do a stream. You know, like celebrating what happened to them. But the truth of the matter is, I simply don't like them. And once you get to a point of me not liking you, to the extent that I don't like them, then all bad that happens to you, I become indifferent to.
Okay, but there's a difference. Like you said, you weren't celebrating. There's okay, look,
Yeah.
90% of most, okay, 99% of most music right now, I can't stand.
Right.
But
Me too.
okay, but I don't think Sexy Red should not be able to put her garbage out or whatever, you know, or any of this other crap or what. I can't believe I thought of that off the top of my tongue. So I guess we're the same, you know, we're kind of saying the same thing. And again, I try, look, I can be very biased, but certain things I try to look down from a neutral lens because I know the same thing can happen to me, you know, but that's how I kind of see it. I get it. Some people are going to wave their pom poms. They're always going to be the fan of, you know, this. So I get it also. I'm going to listen to y'all in the clouds, whatever, from the chat, I should say.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All
But
right,
no,
I'll back.
well, it's a difference between to me to talk about what Sir Tice said. It's a difference between not liking a person's talent or you know the product that they produce. In the case of Sexy Red, and I haven't heard any of her music, nor do I find her particularly attractive or anything. You know, I'm
I just
completely
found out that she's dark skinned. Sexy
yeah.
Red.
Yeah, no, I knew she was dark skinned. I just didn't. I never heard any of her stuff, and I don't really see anything like visually like spectacular about her. So you know, like I haven't heard any of Chloe Bailey's stuff, but I'm physically attracted to her. That's not the case with Sexy Red. She has nothing to offer me. But nevertheless,
just for the record, Chloe Bailey has nothing is offering you nothing as well.
no, but she has it to offer.
Okay, she does have it to offer. She
Yeah,
just
no,
ain't
Sexy
offering.
Red don't have anything to offer. No, Chloe Bailey
Yeah,
has
okay.
it. She's just not offering it. No, I'm aware of that. I'm painfully aware of that. You could say that, but no. Nevertheless, actually, I'm more into her sister now. But that's here nor there. The thing is that I don't like the two of them. I don't like their characters. I don't like who they are, not what they're producing. So it's a completely different type of disdain that I have for Fresh and Fit, especially with their recent actions. So I am indifferent. There are a few people, and I don't want to see something like this happens, but when it happens, I'm indifferent. Kind of like if a person you don't like get hit by a car, you're like, oh crap, that dude. It's like, hey, like you don't feel as bad as as I'll probably do a video on this. There's a young brother who went to Cornell and graduated and moved out to San Francisco and to work for Netflix. And 2 weeks into the job, he's missing. He's missing. And I feel bad for him. I don't know where he's at. They found his stuff. He was last seen getting an Uber in San Jose. This is in local news. He was last seen getting an Uber in San Jose, and bright person, young dude working at Netflix. I feel bad, and I feel bad because he's more relatable and because he's more likable. Even though bad and worse crap happens to niggas everywhere, that I don't really care as much for. And I hate to say that, but it's true. So yeah, and that's kind of how I feel on the Fresh and Fit thing.
Yeah, when you talk about not liking them, I mean, to me, they hadn't done. I didn't understand why other people didn't like them. They hadn't done anything to be disliked. Like I understand that you didn't like I guess what you call the bait and switch. Like they grew a channel on one thing, calling out feminists and female bullshit and debunking it and dunking on it, and you support that. But if they start trying to move towards the route of start getting on some Nick Fuentes shit, it's like, hey, you built it on that, and now you're doing this shit. Like, like before all of that, was there anything that you didn't particularly care for them for?
Yeah, hitting the channels, hitting people's channels, striking people's channels, et cetera, going on a striking spree on people's channels was really, I mean, that really put a sour taste in my mouth. I think they got mine too.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, nothing major. They just made me take down one of their shows, something like that. But you know, the fact that they seem to play dirty in that regard. I know lead attorney, you know, he really don't like them for that reason. So yeah, that's part of it. I
Yes.
mean that
I
kind of
thought,
started it, but then when they went down this rabbit hole, I was like, okay, this is kind of getting strange, you know.
yeah, I always looked at that. They were, I don't know, going. I mean, I guess that's some fuck shit too. To go. I mean, if somebody is doing hit pieces on you, I mean, if somebody is saying shit you disagree with, but they're criticizing you, nah, you can't strike their shit just because you don't like what they said. So yeah, that is some bullshit. Yeah, I'll grant that point. I'll grant that point. I didn't even look at it that deep with them, but yeah, and so
Well,
yeah,
no,
that's some
because
bullshit.
when it happened, okay, so every now and again, you know, you know people or you know someone or you know, entity for quite some time, and it's like, okay, you know, this is you know, they get away with certain little things and you know, but then over time there's always that one action that make you go back and reevaluate everything. Like, you know, like your best friend, like, hey, that nigga did kick sand on my shins when I was, you know, he did break my He-Man, you know, in the second grade. You know, you know, the moment he sleep with your girl or something, then you start remembering all the little crap that happened in the, you know, in the
Yeah,
past. So now they're at that point, and that's how I was able to like, you know, something that dude does do that, you know. So now I'm at that point with them, you know, and I came across that particular crossroad with a dude that used to frequent this channel, you know, who I was like, oh man, this is one snake ass nigga. So you know, and then like all the stuff in the past really just came like, oh, he was full of shit that you didn't really see that you seen, but you just kind of like omitted before. So I'm kind of like at that stage with them. But once again, like this particular setback to them, I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, be like, oh, this is my brother, this is my nah. Because I mean,
yeah. It's
go for it.
oh no, I was just saying, yeah, it's people dancing in the street about it, and yeah, I can't go there with it. I can't
Yeah, I'm
go
not
there
gonna
with it.
dance in the street. I mean, it's not. I can't see myself anybody that I know, and I have enemies here, you know, where I would dance on the street if they get all of a sudden demonetized, but or even shut off or kicked off or you know, because I've been shut down, so you know, I know that that's a pain. But I mean, like I say, I'm indifferent. Like I mean, if I don't like you, I'm indifferent. You know, it's one of those things. Like you know,
Yeah,
if Nick Fuentes, if something happened to him, I'm indifferent. I wouldn't want it to happen, but you know, I'm indifferent. I'm a lot in. You know, I was just like I don't like him, so I'm not. My heart doesn't go out to somebody who I dislike in that regard. So, and Fresh and Fit really fall into that category. It is an entertaining show, and I'm glad that it's reaching um, you know, a large audience. It's entertaining in the sense that it's entertaining, but it becomes repetitive very quickly. You
well,
know,
I mean, everything does. I'll never criticize somebody for doing a repetitive show,
yeah.
especially when you're growing that fast. Was what's old about their show to me, and I've been there, done that, been there, seen that. For somebody else who just subscribed 3 months ago, hey, they having the time of their life, and I'm happy for them. So yeah, so I'll never criticize somebody for doing a repetitive show. That to some degree, stuff is going to be repetitive. You know,
well, I mean, the conversations are your show, for example. You know, you bring up new, like we're talking about something. You know, the subject matter, the what they're doing is kind. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna crap on their show. You know,
yeah,
any more than I already have. But let's just say I continue to watch your show and I don't, and I stopped watching theirs a long time ago. A long time ago. It's like, okay, girls, and I I get it. We okay, maybe this is just me. And don't get me wrong, I like to see internet booty all the time. However, I watch it in porn. Outside of that, I don't really, you know, have a like lust for internet booty. You know, like and I think that that's part of the appeal. I think that that's part of the, um, people tune in to watch internet booty, and I guess watch them get Frank Castled and stuff like that. I mean, it's entertaining. It's very much so, but like I think of it like Sir Tice was saying, like Murray Povich. Like, okay, how many I'm not the daddy dances are you gonna see? Or you are the father dances you're gonna see. Like, I mean, it's it's almost the exact. It's like, they come on, they boo the guy before they even know if he's the father or not. They boo the guy just for being tested. And then they find out he is or he isn't. Like, yeah, then don't get me wrong, I watched it in the beginning, but it's been like 30 years. So now it's just like, oh crap. So but I really didn't, I was indifferent to it. I was indifferent to it, just like I'm indifferent to this action. They'll bounce back. They have a very lucrative thing going on. So yeah. I mean, if anything, this will just stunt their growth. Why is somebody in the thing saying I'm a communist? That's stupid. You're stupid.
That's the second time he said. Well, he said it earlier. I don't know if you're looking at an old comment or if this person said it again.
Nah, he said it twice. I mean,
Okay.
Better a communist than a retard. What's wrong with you? Yeah. So it's stupid stuff like that.
What do you? I mean, well, hold on, real quick. Shout out before I pull up that comment. Shout out to the gentleman who sodomy and chicken. I don't. You can't have the name sodomy and chicken and be a gentleman. He says free speech applies to the government, not private parties. Thank you for that super chat.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Now that comment right there, the conversation needs to evolve. And I was about to wrap it up, but I don't like that comment. That comment to me doesn't mean a whole lot. That's somebody to me. That's a spin on just shut up. The conversation needs to evolve. What do you think about that?
It depends on what he's talking about. I would like to see, like you say, intellectual midgets. I would like to see them get challenged. I would like to see that. And if he's saying that the girls that they bring on need to evolve, then yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things about it, one of my critiques of the show would be that the women there are rotated, which means that every person he's talking to, this is their first time having their conversation. Or maybe second or third, but
yeah, some of them come back. But what do you mean by challenged? I mean, Myron has actually been in some debates with worthy opponents, but
okay, then perhaps that's what he's saying. I don't know what Lost in Translation podcast is talking about, but
whenever somebody say the women that they talk to are dumb, and that's why Myron gets to sound smart, because he's debating the dumb people. I mean, so at that point, sounds like with the person who's making that point. So are you saying that if they brought in a chick with a PhD schooled in the arts of feminism, is she going to beat these male-centric points? I mean, so it's borderline low-key lightweight saying the women are right. They just got to debate against the right one. It's like, no. So that's why I don't make the argument, they debating against dumb women. They get smart ones, then the women to be right. It's like, I don't understand that. I don't understand why people even go down that route.
Well, no,
they bring in Stacey Abrams, and Stacey Abrams gonna dunk on Myron Gaines. It's like, no.
Well, isn't Stacey Abrams fat?
Okay, I mean, I'm at dunk on like a trash can rim that's on the ground. You ball the paper and throw it in.
No. Dunking aside, like, fat women, their words don't matter as much. Like, and the reason why they don't matter as much is because people only care about what you have to say if they want to fuck you. So fat women's words don't count.
Okay.
Is she fat? I don't know.
Oh, Stacey Abrams is she's very fat.
Yeah,
Stacey Abrams is?
No, her words don't matter then. No, okay. I'm talking about like a Candace Owens or somebody who, but of course on that side, I would like to see stuff like that. I would like to see actual debates. But the reason that they're not going to get that, and those are hard to come by, simply put, is because the women understand the bad of it to society. You see, the negative side effects of their lifestyle is really to society, not them. So they don't give a shit. And that's the truth that they talk about on that show. Like, a woman says, listen, I want this and I'm waiting for this or something like that. And Fresh Fit could say all he wants. The truth of the matter is that's the West is leverage for them to have that particular advantage, and they're not going to give it up, even if it does benefit the greater society. Will Smith says something interesting. It says, GC, do you want non-fat girls or not? So I think he's talking about Sexy Red. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Yeah, she is a non-fat woman, and yes, she is doable, sexually speaking. But the thing about it is, in order to be an entertainer in my books, a person who a large part of their success is attributed to their looks, you have to be more than just fuckable, in my opinion. If you're going to get by on your looks, just fuckable isn't going to cut it. You have to actually be a fantasy. Somebody that somebody wants to fuck more than the woman he just fucked, recently. And she's not that. By a wide margin, she's not that. So yeah, she's doable, but there's doable and then there's fantasies. And yeah, Sexy Red do not fall into that category at all. And yeah, so that's kind of how I see her. And I don't have anything. Once again, I don't have anything against her. I just, she has nothing to offer to me, music wise, or or physically, like nothing to offer me.
I just can't get over that her name is Sexy Red and she's dark skinned. I just didn't know it worked like that.
Wait, I don't.
She's not sexy, particular. She's not particularly sexy, and she's not a red bone. Like, and maybe I'm only saying she's not sexy just because I'm looking at the face and neck tattoos and all kind of other weird shit in fire engine red hair. Because I'm looking at pictures right now. Maybe that's. I mean, maybe there's things that you could strip away from her that would make her appear sexy to me, but I don't know. She just looks like a very ratchet, unsexy woman who's not even light skinned, but calling herself light skinned. It's just weird. It's weird. All right.
Well, she reminds me of Trina. She reminds me of Trina when she first came out with Trick Daddy, and I heard the song a lot sooner than I seen the video, and to me, the whole behavior, the whole ratchet look is very unappealing. However, you will lose points in my eyes, if you fall into that Keisha ratchet stereotype. However, there are women who are attractive enough to transcend that. And we can't hear you. There are women who are, he's on the phone. There are women who are attractive enough to transcend that, and Trina's not that, and Sexy Red isn't really that. Both of them are doable. At least Trina was doable in her day, but that doesn't mean see, here's the thing. Alicia Keys is something that you want. You just want it, and even if she did the ratchet thing, she might lose all. If she did the ratchet thing, she might lose all of that. She might lose all of that desire. But men are attracted to class. That's the thing. Men are attracted to class. We tolerate trash for ass. I'm going to say that because it rhymed something a little bit. We're attracted to class, but we tolerate trash for the sake of some ass. And that is the category that Sexy Red falls under. It is. That's what separates the that and being light skinned is what separates the Rihannas, the Beyoncés, the Alicia Keys, and stuff like that. That is what separates them from the sexy reds and stuff like that. And there are a lot of people who are attracted to trash and they take trash over class. But see, that's not their true desire, Bernard. That's not their true desire. They truly desire a classy woman, and to do trashy things with her. The thing is that they just don't see it as possible, so they don't even fantasize about it because they fear um they fear that it'll let them down in the future.
I never got rejected in a fantasy, so I don't know why not fantasize about what you'll actually like. But anyway,
No, because let me say this. Because I
well,
fantasize.
you gotta make it quick because I do got to roll. So wrap it up. Make it quick.
No, I just want to say my primary fantasies are about things that has happened, could have happened, or possibly would happen. Which is why, sometimes you might fantasize about the chick at work, the secretary at work, because it could happen. There are more attractive women in the world, but it could happen with that secretary. So yeah, so I think that for a lot of men, it's not really a possibility at all that they will ever have a woman with class ever. So they don't even entertain that in their brain.
Gotcha. Well, all right. We is about to dip up on out of here, but before we go,
welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
All right, we've done so much with so little for so long. We're not qualified to do anything with nothing. Shout out to Machismo TV. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to them. Thank you for everybody who supported the stream. Deacon Salty Balls with the $120 cash app. And shout out to all the contributors. I just read the ones on the screen right there. Christian Hutchins, Me Run Enterprise, Hoop Jargon, Sodomy and Chicken, one of the best names in the business. Wizard X. Shout out to you. I don't even know if I read that one from Wizard X, or did I? I don't think I did. Did I support for content? Oh, yeah, I did. Yes, I did. All right. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.
Peace.
Now we gone. All right.